All we're saying is it's Monday, the 23rd of May, 2022, and we greet you well wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices. And that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to both sides of the story Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome. Look so strange, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Raise your glass to the hard-working people. Let's drink to the uncounted. Let's think of the wondering millions who need me. It's Labor Day 2022. Labor Day in this the 60th year of independence of Jamaica. And we did notice work being done. We did a bit of a drive about and we saw pedestrian crossings freshly painted and among other things. And we'll come back to the history as well in just a moment.
Walk into Marjan's Pharmacy and you will feel better. The service is clearly different. Marjan's Pharmacy, code 876-703-6335. The time by Marjan's Pharmacy is 2:15.
Contractors and developers, Coast to Coast Quarries is having a 20% discount sale on cash purchases on all size stones. We specialize in washed sand and stones of all sizes. And for all your concrete needs, including blocks and marl dust, look no further. Coast to Coast Quarries, Albion, Yala, St. Thomas. Call 706-3230. Take advantage of this super deal.
Your health is key to your wealth. Suffered from muscle, joint, neck, back, and other pain? The Rehabilitation Institute of the Caribbean, providing medical care for function and performance in association with Winchester MRI, Jamaica's first choice for MR imaging. Immune Active Denk, a combination of key active ingredients designed to boost the body's natural defense. And Almighty Studios, a recording studio where they create worship music to praise, to worship, and to serve, presents Rehabilitation Now, a 30-minute feature on physical medicine and rehabilitation for people overcoming pain or dysfunction from injury or disease that affects muscles, tendons, nerves, and joints. Rehabilitation Now with host Alicia Taylor and rehabilitation physician Dr. Paula Dawson airs every Thursday, 5:30 to 6 p.m. on Power 106. Free your body from aches and pain with Rehabilitation Now.
Thanks a lot for staying with us on this special Labor Day edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story on Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm, and we thank those of you who are already logging on and messaging us on the various platforms. Good afternoon to those of you listening to us on 106.1, 106.3, 106.5, 106.7, and 106.9. From Morant Point to Negril Point, from the Goat Islands to Galena Point. This is Power 106 FM, serving Jamaica and the diaspora. Hello to those tuned in via the Power 106 FM app, which you have downloaded from the App Store or the Google Play Store, depending on the nature of your device. Downloading is free, listening is free, whenever, wherever. We thank those of you who have dialed a designated number to listen to Power 106 FM from the United States and the United Kingdom. Those in the US who wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM can call 631-359-8281. 359 8281. If you're in the United Kingdom and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, your number is 0330 606 0953, 0330 606 0953. We thank those of you who have logged on to Facebook via the Dervan Malcolm Facebook page. If you're not there yet, log on to Facebook in the search box atop the page. Type DERVAN MALCOLM, and you too will be able to not just hear, but see what's happening in the studios of Power 106 FM. If you don't have a Facebook account, no sweat. There's always YouTube. All you need is a smart device or a not so smart device, a smartphone, a tablet, computer, laptop, desktop, any one of those. And make sure you have not just internet connection, but connectivity. In other words, you should be able to browse. And if you don't know what a browser is, well, it's any one of the family of browsers: Google Chrome, Bing, Safari, and the others. Any one of those. Open one of those, start typing YouTube. Before you can finish typing, the box will populate. And if you're doing that now, you should see this video trending. If not, then in the YouTube search box, type DERVAN MALCOLM, and that should get you to the Dervan Malcolm YouTube channel. How has Labor Day 2022 found you and yours? How much have you been able to do on this Labor Day so far? Are there particular discoveries that you've made on this Labor Day that you'd like to share? Feel free. The lines are open to you. We want to hear about the projects, the programs, and the possibilities. 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, and 876-922-4115. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, but also your WhatsApp messages and your voice notes. That number, once again, 876-365-3346. If you want to talk labor relations, so be it. It's that season for it, that season we're in. And we look forward to your perspectives in that regard as well. Good afternoon to Ricardo in Glengoff, St. Catherine. Leighton Griffiths says, good afternoon from America. Thank you very much, Leighton Griffiths, for joining us from the great United States of America. Taj James says, hello, Dee. Hello to you, too. I see you're starting to gray up. Well, that's not new. I just have been, whenever you see it like this, it means I'm too busy to shave. Too busy to shave. That's what it boils down to. And we did promise to set the stage for you with respect to the history of Labor Day here in Jamaica. Before 1961, May 24 was celebrated in Jamaica as Empire Day. Before 1961, May 24 was celebrated in Jamaica as Empire Day. The day was celebrated as the birthday of Queen Victoria, who was credited with granting slaves in Jamaica and the rest of the British Empire their freedom. The holiday also served the purpose of reminding Jamaica of the greatness and glory of England, the mother country. School children were required on a day like today to attend school on the morning of the holiday to participate in the flag-raising ceremonies and in the singing of Rule Britannia, Rule, the British national anthem, God Save the King, and other British patriotic songs. In 1961, the then Premier, the late Right Excellent Norman Washington Manley, national hero, presented a bill in Parliament which abolished Empire Day as a public holiday and substituted instead the commemorative celebration of May 23, 1938, when Jamaicans first declared their mass intent to seek freedom from colonial oppression. This day was called Labor Day. From then until May 23, 1971, Labor Day was mainly celebrated by the trade unions in collaboration with the political parties to which they were affiliated in the form of public rally meetings and marches. These were done primarily in the corporate area. There were occasions when the marches of the opposing major trade unions and the political parties clashed, contrary to the original concept of Mr. Manley, and the intention of the day should be, in fact, that the intention of the day should be a demonstration of unity among workers in Jamaica. There was one additional dimension to the celebration instituted by the Most Honorable Hugh Shearer when he became Prime Minister in 1967. And in fact, a few days ago, on Wednesday, I believe it was, we marked the 99th anniversary of the birth of former Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Hugh Lawson Shearer. Now, back to that point we were making, that there was one additional dimension to the celebration instituted by the Most Honorable Hugh Shearer when he became Prime Minister in 1967 in the form of a Labor Day reception at Jamaica House. In 1972, then Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Michael Manley, announced a program whereby the importance of labor to the development of Jamaica would be marked by a day of voluntary community participation in projects of benefit to the country. Labor Day in Jamaica is a calendar event recognized not only as a public holiday, but also as a day of community involvement across Jamaica. Labor Day is as old as our independence. It started in 1961 when the then Prime Minister, the late Right Excellent Norman Washington Manley, abolished Empire Day and replaced it with Labor Day using May 23 in celebration of the May 23, 1938 uprising of the labor force led by Sir Alexander Bustamante. What was previously celebrated was Empire Day, as we said earlier on, given by the colonial masters to celebrate their perceived freedom of slavery or freedom from slavery. Jamaican schools were mandated to participate, as we indicated, in flag raising ceremonies to expound the virtues of British rule by singing the British national anthem and other patriotic songs of Britain. The architect of the Labor Day movement, in which we put work into Labor Day, was pioneered in 1972 by the then Prime Minister, the late Most Honorable Michael Manley. He requested and led his huge movement to do voluntary work to help worthy causes across the island. This instantaneously became a huge success. In 1989, Labor Day work became centered on a theme, and therefore the random work was now symbolized around a single focus. A national and parish projects were also instituted in 1989. So those were some of the details. And in fact, we also have a litany of happenings on this day, back in the day, here in Jamaica. For example, 1938, a strike which started on the Kingston waterfront was in its second day. On this day in 1938, news that some of the striking dock workers were given coffee, lemonade, bread, and biscuits at a yard on Lower Princess Street spread from West to Orange Street, and many gathered on the road outside Agnes Bernard's home. Neighbors joined her and offered food, which she cooked. By nightfall, her yard and the street outside were crowded with men. Now, there's a monument that is uh, right by the Kingston Craft Market at the intersection with which road is that now? Is that sometimes I mix up Port Royal Street and Harbour Street, but I believe that's Port Royal Street at the intersection there, where you'll find the Kingston Craft Market. And in fact, there is now a bust of Agnes Bernard uh, set on a pedestal right there at the intersection, and it was rededicated a few days ago. One moment, please.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:30.
Good news! Private HIV care is now more affordable with Health Connect Jamaica. What that means is you can access HIV care with a private doctor at little to no cost. Give us a call at 876-669-7349 or book an appointment at healthconnectja.com today. The preceding ad was brought to you in partnership with the USAID.
Fix up the place this Labor Day with H&M Rapid True Values Labor Day Sale. May 18th to May 28th. Enjoy up to 20% off safety accessories, tools, lighting, building materials, paint, and Master Painters paint accessories. Delivery and curbside pickup available. Conditions apply.
Contractors and developers. Coast to Coast Quarries is having a 20% discount sale on cash purchases on all size stones. We specialize in washed sand and stones of all sizes. And for all your concrete needs, including blocks and marl dust, look no further. Coast to Coast Quarries, Albion, Yalis, St. Thomas. Call 706-3230. Take advantage of this super deal.
Your health is key to your wealth. Suffering from muscle, joint, neck, back, and other pain? The Rehabilitation Institute of the Caribbean, providing medical care for function and performance in association with Winchester MRI, Jamaica's first choice for MR imaging. Immune Active Denk, a combination of key active ingredients designed to boost the body's natural defense. And Almighty Studios, a recording studio where they create worship music to praise, to worship, and to serve, presents Rehabilitation Now, a 30-minute feature on physical medicine and rehabilitation for people overcoming pain or dysfunction from injury or disease that affects muscles, tendons, nerves, and joints. Rehabilitation Now with host Alicia Taylor and rehabilitation physician Dr. Paula Dawson airs every Thursday, 5:30 to 6 p.m. on Power 106. Free your body from aches and pain with Rehabilitation Now.
Raise your glass to the hard-working people.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story. It's a special Labor Day edition. This is a special Labor Day edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, Horror 106 FM. And so we don't have our usual schedule in terms of land solutions for today. Uh, Apologies for any inconvenience caused, but all things being well, Land Solutions will return next Monday. In the meantime, it's all about Labor Day. It's all about what you've been doing for Jamaica on this Labor Day. And if there are particular events, Labor Day related happenings in your area or projects or initiatives, would love to hear about those as well. The numbers to call 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. Can we take you back to 1838? A large crowd gathered at the square in Montego Bay, St. James. At the time, it wasn't called Sam Sharp Square, so it was just the square. So on this day, in 1832, a large crowd gathered at the square in Montego Bay, St. James, to witness the hanging of Sam Sharp. the organizer of a rebellion in western Jamaica, which began during the last Christmas season. Sharp walked to the gallows with a firm and dignified step, dressed in a suit of white made for him by the female members of the family of his owner. His last words were, these are Sam Sharp's last words: I depend for salvation upon my Redeemer who shed his blood upon Calvary for sinners. I depend for salvation upon my Redeemer who shed his blood upon Calvary for sinners. The words there of national hero Sam Sharp as he walked to the gallows in 1832 with a firm and dignified step, dressed in a suit of white made for him by the female members of the family of his owner. And before the break, we were referencing Agnes Bernard, popularly known as Aggie Bernard, and her work in the labor movement. In fact, this is, I believe, uh, when was this? The 100, we're going to double check that, but she was born in 1910. Aggie Bernard, born in 1910, the 24th of March, 1910. So here's the history. So this year marked the 112th anniversary of the birth of noted Jamaican heroine of the labor movement, Agnes Aggie Bernard. She was born, as we said, on the 24th of March, 1910. She was one of the foremost pioneering female activists in Jamaica's labor movement. During the 1938 labor riots, which is known as a pivotal point in Jamaica's political development, Ms. Bernard went above and beyond the call of duty to ensure the sustainability of the riots. Ms. Bernard, who was then a laundress who provided services for the ships which docked at the Kingston waterfront, committed her entire, though meager, savings of 5 shillings and 6 pence to purchase food and provide refreshments for about 200 men during the 2-week strike in Kingston. As a tremendous reflection of self-sacrifice, Ms. Bernard maintained unwavering commitment to the mission of the labor riots, though risking the stability of her laundry business. As a result of her support, the dock workers were not only able to secure a wage increase, but their action also encouraged strikes elsewhere. Agnes Bernard continued to live a phenomenal life, advocating for the rights of the Jamaican people. And in 1976, she was awarded the Order of Distinction from the government of Jamaica for her outstanding services to the trade union movement. In 1979, she was honored with a special certificate of merit from the Inter-American Commission of Women for her work toward the development of women in Jamaica. Ms. Bernard died a year later on the 7th of October, 1980. On this Labor Day 2022, we salute Agnes Aggie Bernard for her sterling contribution to the labor movement here in Jamaica on this Labor Day. And as we said, there is now a bust, B-U-S-T, so that's just the top part of the person, the image. That's the bust, the top part there, right? The bust of labor movement activist Agnes Bernard has officially been unveiled. This has been erected at the Kingston Craft Market in downtown Kingston. The sculpture, which rests atop an existing monument in her honor, was commissioned in partnership between the Ministry of Labor and Social Security and the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment, and Sport. It was unveiled during a ceremony on Wednesday, the 18th of May, the same day on which there was a floral tribute marking the 99th anniversary of the birth of former Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Hugh Lawson Shearer. And that was part of kicking off Workers' Week. Workers' Week ends today, started on the 15th of May, and ends today under the theme Repositioning Jamaica's Labor Market Post COVID-19. Repositioning Jamaica's labor market post COVID-19. And I think we told you already, she was honored in 1976 with the Order of Distinction. And you can always read up and read on and learn more about Aggie Bernard. Now, there was another uh, another story. Perhaps we'll come to that another time because we don't want to conflate matters. But we'll hold on to that one for the time being. In the meantime, though, we'll continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. And we're taking your calls and your messages. We're anxious to hear how you've been spending the day so far. Maybe it's been at the beach. Feel free to send us a message, if even with just that information that you're at the beach. So it's a public holiday in Jamaica, Labor Day. Here's a message from Samantha in Manchester, England. She says, "Good afternoon, Sir Malcolm. Listening and watching from the UK. Best regards, Samantha." Thank you very much, Samantha. Always good to hear from you. All the very best. Ricardo in Glengoff, St. Catherine is still in touch with us. Good afternoon, Ricardo. And hello to Dr. Dunn in Skokie, Illinois as well. Thank you very much, Dr. Dunn. And for the young people listening, here is an opportunity for you. There's a young lady who used to be a part of the team here at Power 106 FM years ago, and she's still very young. And she has her own enterprise, which is called Memorable Essay. Memorable Essay. And if you're wondering what that is about, it's they're into the business of admissions and personal statement consulting. So say, for example, the CSEC exams have started. They usually begin on Labor Day for whatever reason. Usually on Labor Day, students have to go out to do exams. And one of the things that those who hope to move on to tertiary studies, to colleges and universities, not just here in Jamaica, but in particular overseas, you have to package yourself. You have to find creative ways to tell your story in such a way that the admissions personnel will be moved to perhaps grant you a scholarship or simply grant you access to the university. And what Memorable Essay does, and it's memorableessay.com, is to prepare, and they have quite a reputation, an impeccable reputation in terms of the quality work. The team, or did we tell you the name of the creator? That's Shauna K. Lester. And what she does, as the website says, she helps ambitious medical residency, graduate school, and college applicants to stand out and get into their dream schools and programs. That's what she does. We'll tell you more after the break.
For the common foot soldier, sparrow fought for his back-breaking word.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:45.
Farmers, farm store owners, Caribbean Chemicals Jamaica Limited has all the answers for your farming needs. Tune in every Wednesday during Farm Talk for the feature Farming Today, as we educate you on how to farm smarter. That's Farming Today, every Wednesday during Farm Talk, 6:18 to 6:45 a.m. Brought to you by Caribbean Chemicals Jamaica Limited, 2 East Ashenheim Road, Kingston. See a swirling mass of grain. All I can tell you about it, black and white. But you know they don't look real to me, no. In fact, they look so strange, yeah.
Thanks a lot for staying with us on this special Labor Day edition of Both Sides of the Story on Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. Still taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. Land Solutions takes a break this week. All things being well, next Monday, Land Solutions will return. This is a special edition of Both Sides of the Story, Labor Day edition. Hello to Taj James. Good afternoon to Sophia Nemard in Newell, St. Elizabeth. Herman Bowie Bailey says, hello, Mr. Malcolm. How are you? Please, could you wish my pastor, Mr. Felix Peart, and his twin sister, Mrs. D. Coombs, a.k.a. Miss Minnie of Ocho Rios, coming from, you want her, what do you want us to wish him? I guess it's birthday. You didn't say. It's it's their birthday, right? The twins, Mr. Felix Peart and his twin sister, Mrs. D. Coombs, aka Sister Minnie of Ocho Rios, Sister Herman in New York. Wishing you enough love and blessings. Happy birthday to Pastor Felix Peart and Mrs. D. Coombs. All the very best. Thank you very much. Keep those messages coming in. Sean is online. Asher Ash says, hi, Mr. Dervan, joining you on Labor Day from London, England. Good to have you on board, Asher Ash. Errol Townsend says, good afternoon, Dervan. Happy holiday. Happy holiday to you too, Errol Townsend. And Devon White is also messaging us. Good afternoon to you, Devon White. Thank you very much for joining us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, for 106 FM. It's the Labor Day edition of Both Sides of the Story. And we want to share with you some Labor Day happenings over the years. Let's look at 1961. Speaking on the relationship between politics and economics at a special mass at the Holy Trinity Cathedral on North Street in downtown Kingston to celebrate the first official Labor Day in Jamaica, Father Charles Judah says that some of the government's income tax policies contradict the commandment or commandments, or no, the specific commandment, thou shalt not steal. The congregation nodded their heads in agreement, while Minister of Labor Jonathan Grant, that's why we have a high school called Jonathan Grant High School, named in honor of the Minister of Labor, former Minister of Labor Jonathan Grant, who sat in a front pew wearing an unsmiling face. That was 1961. I think this Father Charles Judah also had a radio program. I think he hosted a talk show as well. I'm remembering the name and associating with it a piece of history. 1961, the first Labor Day as a public holiday was celebrated by 3 political parties and trade union organizations with public meetings and marches. The JLP and the BITU held their marches in Maypen, Clarendon, and the PNP and NWU held theirs in Kingston. The People's Political Party, led by Millard Johnson, which had recently been launched, marched from its headquarters at 165 Spanish Town Road to the George VI Memorial Park, which is now known as National Heroes Park, for a public meeting. May 23 was designated a public holiday and replaced May 24, the birthday of Queen Victoria, as a public holiday. 1972, thousands of Jamaicans from all over the island spent the public holiday Labor Day working voluntarily on community development projects. Private doctors gave their services voluntarily at hospitals, including performing free operations, and tourists